the home for intelligent black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to say hi to everybody. And I wanted to also let you guys know, don't forget this podcast is on Spotify. So if you want to check us out on Spotify or you want to listen while you're in your car, feel free to just go to Spotify. Just look up my name, Boyce Watkins. You'll find us there. We're also, of course, all over YouTube. We have over 1 million subscribers on different YouTube channels. So feel free, if you enjoy intelligent black conversations, if you enjoy conversations that are going to make black people better, then you can hang out with us on YouTube as well. That's what we do here. Also, you have to love the black community. That's the only other requirement. So what's going on? My name is Corey. Shout out the city you're from. Let me know what city you're from. And I want to tell you guys what I'm doing today. Yes, I am live, Kashif. This is what I call Dr. Boyce Exposed. This is where I like to answer questions, and I'll answer any questions you ask about any topic, and I will give you, as long as you make it a quick question, I will give you a quick answer, and you can ask me anything from my shoe size to what you think about the stock market or whatever, and I would love to answer questions. Okay, there we go. Rashad asked the first question. He says, "Good evening, Dr. Boyce. What advice do you have for students paying back student loans?" The best way to save money is to make more money, and I think every single person who's graduated from college should go out right now and take a class on how to start a business. If you learn how to start a business, you can increase your income. Even a small side hustle that just makes you, say, an extra $2,000 a month, which is very easy to do if you know what you're doing, that will generate enough money typically to shift your budget and really open doors for you. So I would encourage you to take a look at that. And by the way, I hope you'll allow me to mention one of the sponsors for the podcast, bodynaturalnutrients.com/B1. They have some really good supplements related to Bone Factor Advanced Bone and Joint Formula. It's plant-based with 3 clinically proven ingredients that heal joints, reduce inflammation, and regenerate cells for all natural relief for arthritis, pain, inflammation, and stiffness. Bone Factor Advanced Bone and Joint Formula is your key to a pain-free life. So their website is up here, and you see that they have a /B1. It's bodynaturalnutrients.com /B1. You'll get a discount if you go to that link and go take a look at their black-owned business. And thank you for sponsoring the platform. Anybody who wants us to shout out your black-owned business, just go to drboycefinance.com. That's drboycefinance.com. All right. So thank you for letting me get that out. Thumbs up, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. You can ask your questions. So let's see. Dr. Watkins, I'm looking for a good side hustle. Do you know of any lesser known side hustles I can research and jump into? Well, I know that Andre C. Hatchett does something on mobile notaries, how to be a mobile notary. Apparently there's a lot of money being made for people who become mobile notaries. So you may want to look into what Andre Hatchett is doing. Apparently a lot of people are supplementing their income well with that. Also, if you just search, maybe even use AI, Chat GPT, what are some side hustles I can create to make some extra money? There are people that do everything. It depends on what your talent is. Maybe, if you have books, there's classes you can take on how to create a book. A lot of people think you have to be an author to write a book. There are plenty of books written by people who are not authors. I mean, you'd be amazed at what opportunities are out here for people that literally maybe don't even have any real skill to speak of per se. They just know how to work a system. What is your stance on the Supreme Court's decision on affirmative action? Asked Justin. Sorry, I mean it's Justin, not Justine. Sorry, it sounds like a masculine name. My apologies, brother. So Justin, I think the Supreme Court decision was bad. I don't like it. I wish the Supreme Court supported affirmative action. With that being said, I think that black people have to also remember this though. You owned far more land and had far more businesses 100 years ago than you have now. And one of the theories is that black people own less land than we did in the past, and we have less businesses or fewer businesses because we traded in our land and our businesses for student loans and corporate jobs. So ultimately, while the affirmative action decision kind of sucks, I think that if all black people were really committed to starting businesses, I think we would be in a better economic position than we are when we're sitting around depending on white folks. Let's see here. Cedric, how important is public speaking when it comes to becoming a successful entrepreneur? How did you gain your public speaking skill? Well, you know what, Cedric? Public speaking does matter. I mean, I think if you run a business at some point, you're going to have to talk to other people. There are classes you can take on how to do that. For example, Al Duncan, who has made millions of dollars as a speaker, he's one of our faculty in the Black Business School. And by the way, everybody, you can join the Black Business School for free. Don't ever let anybody make you think you have to pay to join. We have tens of thousands of people who don't pay a nickel who get a better education than what they got in college. So if you go to the Black Business School, theblackbusinessschool.com, you can learn so much stuff for free. But anyway, also the way I gained my public speaking skill, you know what I did? Let me tell you a secret I did. It's really complex. It's kind of crazy. I speak. That's how I practice my public speaking. I'm practicing right now. I'm talking to you right now. I'm speaking. You are part of the public. I'm public speaking right now. So practice. Get you a little YouTube channel. They're free. Get on there, force yourself to practice. If you're not sure what to do, write down 3 key bullet points and do a 60-second video. Okay, 3 things you want to know about blah, 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 blah. Right? And then just watch some of the good speakers out there. The best speakers I've seen out there are people like Eric Thomas. You have the old school, the OGs, the Les Brown types. Umar Johnson is a great speaker. There's some other speakers out there that just know how to light it up. So you want to find your style that really works for you. So that's my 2 cents. I can't put the website in the chat. I'm sorry, because you're on my phone and my fingers are big. So I apologize. Somebody type it in for me if you could, please. It's theblackbusinessschool.com. Just don't forget the THE, theblackbusinessschool.com. In fact, we have so many other things happening in the Black Business School. I think you're going to really benefit. I know you're going to benefit. Let's see here. Terrell says, good evening. How can you still a company you are invested in is about to go out of business? How can you tell that a company you're invested in is about to go out of business? I think that most businesses go bankrupt not because of a lack of profitability. Most of them go bankrupt due to a lack of cash flow. So if the business doesn't have the ability to get the cash flow, or they can't get the customers to generate the revenue, that could mean the business is in trouble. If you are talking about a publicly traded company, it's a little bit harder to tell because they're not going to always give you all the information. Because if they tell everybody they think they're going to go bankrupt, then people will stop investing, which will increase the likelihood that they will bankrupt. It's like a run on a bank. Like the more you tell people that you're falling, the more they're going to believe you're falling, which is going to increase the chances that you're going to fall. So it's hard to tell, but I think that there are some indicators in stock market investing of what healthy companies look like versus unhealthy companies, like companies in the S&P 500. I tell people to just get started investing. Stick with the S&P 500. Stick with the good stuff. Stick with the companies that know how to make money. Don't go after these crazy cryptos. Don't go after these stocks that are barely hanging on, and these little companies that your little cousin told you about. Stick with the companies that are good at making money. What is a good stock to sell covered calls on? There's one that I make money on called C3.ai. C3.ai has been a major cash cow for me for the last year and a half. So AI is a ticker symbol. If you'd like to get better at generating income with covered calls, I have a training called How to Make Money Without Working. Just go to BoyceWatkins.com. If you go to BoyceWatkins.com, the training's called How to Make Money Without Working. Let's see here. What was Sharif says, what was your first stock you bought when you did first get in the stock market? I think I first started off with a mutual fund. I do have a video, a training called How to Buy Your First Share of Stock. If you go to firstshareofstock.com, that's firstshareofstock.com, you can go there and get started. I hope everybody here is an investor. I think that's really important. Do me a favor, if you have a question, try to keep it like maybe a sentence so I can read it, because if the words are small, I can't see them all on the screen. So like Disha, I see you got a question, but it's a little bit long, so it's a little bit tough to read everything. But he said, what are the insights on sharing economy, particularly in relation to platforms like Airbnb, on how individuals from underserved communities leverage these opportunities? I would say anything you want to learn, just know somebody out there is probably teaching a class on it. And if you determine that person is credible to teach you, then it's worth it. I mean, think about it. Who wouldn't pay $1,000 to learn something that's going to make them $100,000? I mean, it's a risk, sure, but I'm gonna tell you, if somebody shows me that they know how to do it and they're succeeding and they're making money doing the thing I want to know how to do, I will pay them to coach me, guide me, work with me. The acquisition of knowledge is very important. Let's see here. Dan the Culture says, Dr. Boyce, what advice do you have for someone who's trying to repair an awful credit score, pay down high interest debt, and get control of my finances? I think the first step is, and you've already taken part of this step, which is financial awareness. Just being aware of where you are and being honest with yourself, about the habits that you need to change, things you have to confront. And then learn how to negotiate with your creditors. Remember, creditors, the old debts, they don't require you to pay the whole amount. So if you get on the phone with them and just work with them and give them whatever you can and just drive a hard bargain, a lot of times they'll if you say, look, I'll give you a third of the money, and if you want the money right now, I'll give you a third of it, but you got to take it off my report, and I got to get some confirmation that it's off my credit report. Also, you can dispute everything on your credit report. So anything that you think shouldn't be there, you just dispute it, and if they can't prove that it should be there, then they can automatically take it off. And then also, as far as paying down high interest debt, all that stuff, I think it's a matter of understanding what you're going to do with the income that you have, and then also generating more income. That's a great wealth fix. Cameron says, hey, Dr. Boyce, would you be interested in having Cornell West on your show for an interview? Yeah, I'd love to. I'm going to try to reach out to him. I don't know. My number for him is a little bit old, so I don't keep up with a lot of people like that. But I'll try to reach out to him for sure. If Trump charged other countries for military bases, if I don't know about Trump and military bases. I'm sorry. I wish I could answer the question, Mills. I don't have a thought on that. Sorry, man. L Dog, are African Americans the Aboriginals of America? Yeah, probably. William Tucker says, you didn't answer my question yet. Yes, I did. I just answered that question. Let's see. Mela says, hi, Dr. Watkins. How you doing? L Dog says, should we use the right of indigenous people as American Aboriginals? Well, I guess, with black people kind of being connected as the original Native Americans and stuff like that, I think that there's something to be said about that. Let's see. William says, did you delete me? No, because I can see your comment right there. Professor Yelsum says, what are good alternative opportunities and careers for educators? I think that there are, a lot of people are teaching online. If you look at people like my friend, the Wall Street Trapper, he's an online teacher. He teaches investing and finance and stuff. And I like him. He's my friend. I respect him. And so there's a lot of people that are teaching online. So if you're an educator, you just got to learn how to start a business. You got to learn how to think outside the box. You probably have to take a class on entrepreneurship so you can learn how to operate without a paycheck. That required a shift in my thinking. So I encourage you to take yourself on that journey. Believe in yourself. Let's see. Why are the pyramids in North America older than the ones in Africa? I have no idea, L Dog. Sorry, man. Let's see here. Denny says, how much should be saved? The 50-30-20 rule. I don't know the 50-30-20 rule. I'm sorry. I should probably know that, but I don't. I have to be honest with you. In terms of savings, I would say 20% of your income is as savings or as investments will be definitely a good benchmark. Do more if you can. Eric, I'm looking to start a real estate fund. Where can I go to raise capital from investors? I think you have to have a track record, right? So I would say get into a space of other people that raise money for real estate funds and maybe do some free labor or something like that. That will give you an opportunity. DJ says, how can you help me? Just go to theblackbusinessschool.com. You can join for free. We will help you. We'll give you plenty of stuff there. What are your thoughts about Supreme Court gutting affirmative action? We talked about that a little bit earlier, but I'll say also that remember, the biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action are white women, right? So white women lost big. I don't know if black people were benefiting from affirmative action anymore. It's like literally anybody who's not a white man. So that means gay people and Asians and Hispanic people and all that. And so I don't know, I don't know. I don't think we were the biggest beneficiaries anyway. What is the best stock to invest in right now, Dr. Boyce? I don't know. I gave you guys on the stock market class, I gave you a bunch of stocks this week. In the Black Business School, we have something called What Dr. Boyce is Buying. So literally every week I update with some stocks that I research and I find for you. I'm trying to think about a stock that I just bought. Let's see. What's a company that I would buy stock in right now? Chipotle. I always like Chipotle. There you go. There's a good one. What does your daily routine look like? Says El Haj. I get up about 5 in the morning. Today I got up at 5 in the morning to go to my flight lesson. I'm about to do my solo so I can become an airplane pilot. I could not do the solo because the visibility has been low the last few days where I can't see. It's as far you have to be able to see 3 statute miles to be able to fly under visual flight rules, and because of the Canadian wildfires, the visibility has been like 2.5 miles or 1.5 miles, so we can't fly every day, and it kind of sucks. It makes me mad. But once the visibility gets better, I will do my solo, and then after that, I came home. I did some work. I exercise every day, drink a lot of water, stuff like that. Then I take a nap about 10 a.m., maybe 10 or 11, to get ready for my meetings. I have meetings in the afternoon. Then I take another break and do something with my wife, maybe eat lunch with my wife or go running, and then I get up and maybe I'll go come hang out and work with you guys a little bit more. All right, so let's see here. What are some good alternative? Okay, you already asked about the alternative careers for education. What do you think about Forex investing? Forex is exciting, but Forex is hard to make consistent money. I'm not a believer that Forex is an easy way to make consistent money. I know there are people who might disagree, but I think Forex is not as straightforward as just standard buy and hold investing, to be honest with you. Can you help me turn $20 into $200? I would become an entrepreneur if you're trying to make flips like that. That's the quickest way I've seen people make money. Hey, Dr. Watkins, SCHD, what do you think about this dividend stock? I don't know that stock, so I apologize. If you join the blackstockmarketprogram.com, theblackstockmarketprogram.com, I will look up the stock for you. My students can leave me questions. I look the stock up for them, and I give them my assessment. But there's like literally thousands and thousands of stocks, so I don't know all of them. Dr. Vibe Show, how you doing, Dr. Vibe? What is the best decision you have made this year? I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of happy about getting my pilot's license. That's been kind of cool. I know I cut out negativity or negativity. You know, I don't really spend a lot of energy with people that I don't want to be around or talk to. But I've done that for about 5, 6 years actually. Um, I would say that becoming a pilot was probably the most exciting thing I did this year that I've enjoyed the most. Um, yeah, so there we go. What are your thoughts about investing in art? Art is good, but art does not have a lot of liquidity, and you have to really know what you're doing. So just be really careful about art. Do you hear any presidential candidates mentioning reparations? No, not really. I think the Democrats are starting to talk about it a little bit more because they're worried about losing the black vote, and I do think that losing the black vote